Hi there, this is Snow City Tarot, and I'm back with another pick a card reading. Today's topic is going to be, how do they view you? So this is good for just about anybody, friends, family, loved ones. I guess those are family, but sometimes they're outside family loved ones. So like crushes, that sort of thing. So we're going to take a glimpse into what their perception of you is. What is it like from their perspective? So just be aware that with this, it may or may not resonate, and that's okay. It doesn't mean it's wrong, because you don't really know what the other person is thinking, and that's why you're here. So just keep that in mind. If you don't like what you're hearing, or you're like, that's way off, maybe try to take a step outside of yourself and look at yourself from an outside perspective and wonder, maybe I do come off that way, or maybe I do look this way. Anyway, I have 4 piles here today. I've got pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. I believe we've got malachite, angelite. Oh gosh, this one, I know this one. Hematite, there we go. And then chrysolite? Chrysolite? Gosh, I can't ever, chrysocolla? Damn, I don't know. Somebody correct me in the comments section. I'm still learning my stones. So just take a deep breath, think about the person on your mind, and pick a pile. And I'm going to start with 1. Hi, group 1. This is for those of you that have picked this beautiful green malachite, and this is your reading. So it's not going to just be these few cards. I am going to go and look into what they're going to see here and like what their opinion is. So I'll do that after this though. So let's get started here. I've got Lenormand is going to be doing most of the talking today. So we've got man, we've got moon. Excuse me for making noise here. I'm trying to get this. Still working on the mic. I'll get it eventually. We got man, we got moon, we got mice. Everything starts with M today. House, scythe, and clover. So this is how they perceive you. This is who they think that you are. When they see you at face value, this is who they think that you are. So if you are a man, this is saying that this may be someone who sees you as a father, a brother, a love interest, a male love interest, cousin. They see you as somebody who's part of them, part of their life, basically. That's kind of for some of you. I took the gender cards, but I made sure to take others because I know this isn't going to be for everyone. So if you are a man, this is applying to you. So we can put that one aside since it's really only for them there. But it doesn't mean that you're not a love them for the other person, but I feel like this is kind of like a call out to say, like, this person has affection for you. You're an important part of their life, and that's what this is saying. So with moon and mice, we have somebody who's very mysterious and emotional. But you may be kind of masking it with something else. You could be masking it with anxiety or work. Mice are very busy, so this could be saying that you're someone who's very motivated, somebody who can work independently maybe. There is that anxiety aspect of those two, because moon and mice together can talk about emotions and anxious feelings. It can talk about mental illness at times, but that won't be for everyone. But if you're aware that you're a little bit more nervous than other people, and it doesn't mean that your nervousness is displaying like, sweaty hands and a shaking, trembling voice or fear. Like, you may not actually look like this, but you may be very detail oriented and always kind of covering your bases. So maybe you'll be somebody who says like, oh, I need this thing done. And then the person says, yes, I'll do this for you. And then you'll be like, but I need this, and then I need this, and I need this, and I need to make sure that this is this, and I need to review this, I need a copy of this, I need this or this. Like that. So very, a little neurotic maybe, but it's a very nervous sort of, it's not like nervousness. I don't know how to describe this exactly. It is like a type of anxiety, but it's like controlled. Like this is how you cope with it, is through control. And you don't feel anxious if you're not, as long as you're in control. So that's kind of what I see with that. It doesn't mean you're controlling, because there are other cards for that. But I can see this maybe as certain situations arise and you might be very nervous in this way, where it's more like a detail, like hounding people for details. We also have, because this is funny also, because and this is kind of ties into this, because house can mean somebody that is very calm, but this is like more of like an exterior, I want to say, if anything. This can also talk about somebody who's very family oriented, someone who's very devoted to their family, someone who, will fight for their family, make sure everything they do is for their family. And with this card here, we're seeing somebody who's very money motivated, but I feel like in the end it goes back to the family. Now we also have Scythe. And Scythe, as a person, can be very harsh, can be very, swift acting, very serious, angular too. You might have a very striking face. Might be a little bit grave, a little bit serious. But I feel like you're kind of no nonsense, I want to say, because there is like a weight on you with these cards. But overall, I think this person thinks you're a very hard worker, very dedicated to what it is you do, dedicated to your job, your career, your finances. You have a life of dedication. You don't do things half-assed, and you don't cut corners. That's like a big thing here. And you may do it all for somebody else. What else am I seeing here? So we got Mercury. Is that same? Mercurius. It's Mercury. Jupiter. And Rebel. It says, challenges authority to effect social change, rejects spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. Shadow attributes are rejects legitimate authority out of anger, rebels out of peer pressure or fashion. Challenges authority. So maybe some aspect of you is, maybe you're somebody who doesn't think in a normal fashion. I don't get the vibe that this is saying that you're some kind of rebel. I don't think that at all, because an anxious person usually doesn't like to rebel very much. They're more about maintaining status quo, maintaining the balance and order of things. But I think that maybe there's an aspect of you that seems very rebellious. This could be your outward appearance may be very rebellious. You may be somebody who sits in a way that doesn't, like in a way that you don't care, or you stand in a way that you don't care. You may have an air about you that just seems like you're kind of over it. But inside you might be like a storm. But it's interesting because this is very internal. So this person may see a lot more to you than you lead on. They may see that you're much more sensitive than you make people believe. But with Jupiter and Mercury here, I think that deep down this person sees you as somebody who is jovial in a way. We do have, it's so interesting because you're kind of an interesting character on the outside, because we have all these cards here saying someone who's very serious, very emotional, but somebody who's buttoned up and somebody who gets things done. But with Mercury and Jupiter here, there's a wisdom to you. There's a bit of a philosopher inside of you. Maybe that's where you kind of rebel. Maybe this person sees that while you could be very conservative with this card here, going back to roots, going back to family values, that sort of thing, while they may see that you're very conservative, they may hear you say things that are kind of like, oh, wow, this person's very wise. This person's a philosopher. This person's a thinker, because both of these cards are about thinking. Mercury is thinking. Jupiter is understanding. These are taking things that you know now and expanding upon them. So this person thinks that you're a thinker, that you're somebody who thinks deeply, actually. You have a lot of wisdom to share. And you might be somebody who's, has that Jovian abundance that Jupiter has. So you might be someone who is generous, somebody who is very kind, open-minded, but kind of preachy and authoritative in a way. And with Mercury, though, we do have more kind of hyperactive energy, I want to say. Lots of things to say. You may be very opinionated as well with both of these cards here, because when Mercury and Jupiter make aspects, it creates somebody who's very comfortable talking about ideas, philosophy, talking about, this could be a very wide variety of topics that you can talk about. You might be very knowledgeable on pretty much all fronts. Very interesting. So let's see here. I wanted to take Life Purpose cards by Dorian Virtue and just kind of see if we can see what they think your role is. I'll only take one because I don't want to go crazy with these cards. But what does Group 1 think? What does Group 1's person think that their role is? We've got creative expression. Your soul longs to express itself creatively. And then school. The answer that you're seeking involves going to school. For some of you, your role may be a teacher, a professor, somebody who has knowledge on something and speaks it. Answer that you're seeking going to school. You may work in a school, you may work in a kindergarten, you may work and that actually, these two, Mercury is I'd equate it to high school and below, and Jupiter, I would probably say college. So it's possible you could be a kindergarten teacher or high school teacher, or you could be a professor or some kind of college educator. Well, I guess that would be a professor. So your role as a person here may be an actual professor. Maybe that's why you're like this. And maybe you are very different in the way that you think. You might be not like a rebel where you're stick it to the man, I'm going to go and camp outside this building I don't want demolished, this sort of thing. You may not have that, but you may be not afraid to tell people what it is that you think. And this person may find you creative. They may think that you have a hobby that makes you creative, or you have some form of expression. I think this could also just be talking about your form of verbal expression as well. Doesn't necessarily have to be artistic, just because I'm saying that just because the little man has got the canvas in his picture. But that's what they see with you here. Gypsy Oracle cards. Let's see. Almost dropped the box. Let's see what these have to say. Any more details we can see on their perception of Group 1? Friend. Oh, this person probably sees you as a friend. Any more? Gift. Oh, so maybe you've gifted this person something. Maybe they think that you are a gift to them. Maybe they feel like meeting you was something important. Or they feel like they don't know where they would be without you. Journey. I'll take this one too. So maybe you guys like to travel together, or you have. Or maybe this person thinks that maybe you like to travel, or they would travel with you. I think this person finds you very profound. So let's see here. If this person could tell group one anything based on this, what would they say about this person's personality? Or their perception, rather. What would they say about the perception? Oh, this person really likes who you are. Really likes who you are. Even your nervousness, even your weird little neuroses, this person really appreciates you. This person probably loves you. This person appreciates you. This person, if you're not talking to this person anymore, I think that they miss you. I think that they wish that they could talk with you if they're not talking with you anymore. If not, they would love to tell you how much they really do cherish conversations with you, how much they do love to talk to you, how they like to pick your brain. Maybe they wish to pick your brain on things. They may like to listen to you talk. This person thinks you have you have a very powerful presence that is still very sensitive somehow. I think this feels like a very masculine deck or group here. Not to say this can't be feminine, but I feel like I might be connecting with more males here. And I think this person appreciates you even in the moments where maybe you're not the pinnacle of bravery or the most, handy person in the world, or maybe you have moments where you are emotional and are sensitive. This person doesn't think any less of you. They don't think that it's even a bad thing. They probably wouldn't even think that they need to think less of you for any reason. Like, this person appreciates you and your personality on a level that goes beyond gender norms. Like, they don't care. You are you, and this is what's important to them. So, the sensitivity is a strength because it means that you're able to, it means that you're able to react and respond to things that are right and wrong better. And it's easy for people to tell what is right and wrong with you. Not right and wrong with you, but like when you have, it's easy to tell with you when you have been alerted to something that bothers you or, things of that nature. So I think that they see, if you have an emotional nature, they see this as transparency, not like, you hiding things. So I want to say that's how this person sees you. Overall, I'd say it's very good. And if you're not talking to this person, you should talk to them. They dig you. They really, really like you. I hope you guys are still in contact. And yeah. So I hope you liked your reading. If you'd like to get a private reading with me, you can contact me on Etsy. My link is in the description box below. And I want to thank you for watching. And I'm going to move on to group 2. Hi, group 2. This is for those of you that picked the Angelites. This is your reading. If I can put this somewhere where it's not going to roll. There we go. So I'm having the Lenormand cards do all the work today. Not all the work. I've got some other cards here. And I'm going to actually, after I kind of explore how they see you, I'm going to go and see through tarot and some other cards. Like, oh, excuse me. I don't mean to yawn. I'm so sorry. Okay. I'm going to see what the other cards have to say, like as far as like their opinion on who you are. If they could say anything about it, what would they say? We got Mountain, we've got Tower. So I'm actually going to put these guys together here because they came up, and I'm really only using them as indicators that you are a family member or a loved one or a beloved person in this person's life, you may be a beloved man, a beloved woman, a mother, a father. I mean, really, it's kind of pointless that they both show up. I could just kind of like get rid of them because they negate each other at this point. And I could just say, this person sees you as a family member, you know, like it's, I don't know why I kept them here, to be honest, but they're here. So we also have Moon and Virgo and Companion. Oh, okay. I'll go into those in just a second. But how this person sees you. We have Book, we have Tree, we have Fish, Mountain, and Tower. So these cards are telling me that this person sees you as maybe a little bit quiet, a little bit clever, smart. You might be very, very well educated, or somebody who's just really into books with this one here. Maybe you work at a library. Maybe you are a librarian. We do have some things here, though, with Fish. This is somebody who is kind of like well off, well educated. And actually with this one here, this is medical, the Tree. So you could be health conscious. And what's funny was you also have Virgo. Virgo is easily compared to health and health sciences and people that are nurses, doctors, that sort of thing. So I think that maybe this person sees you either as someone who's very health focused or someone who's very knowledgeable about health. You could probably be a veterinarian too. There's a possibility with that as well, because that's animal health, and Virgo also rules small animals. So what else do we have here? We have Mountain, though. So something about you, though, it's like you're hard to access, and both of these cards talk about difficult access. So you may be somebody that doesn't open up very easily. You may be somebody who's not easy to talk to. You might be kind of intimidating with these two cards. They're both large, isolated, areas, structures. And so you might be somebody who's just hard to reach, very distant, maybe distant emotionally. And so it's like, even if you guys are close, this person may feel like they don't really know you all that well, because Book is here as well, saying that, you're a bit of a mystery as well. Tower can talk about somebody who's also very high society, somebody who's out of reach. That's why it's also about isolation. So you may be at the very, very top of this tower, and this person may be down at the bottom waving at you like, hey, look at me. But you're so far away. Maybe you're living in a different place. If you're like, this is family, you might be far away from them. You might be away living in a dorm. If this is somebody that's not family to you, they may just be admiring you from afar, but they assume that you're out of reach for some reason. Maybe you're very well educated. Maybe you're very successful. Maybe you're looked on by other people as somebody who's like an example to live by. You are very solid, though. A solid person that is very reliable. You might be very physically solid too. So for some of you, this can talk about somebody who's like muscular or bigger, taller. And it's a noticeable thing for some of you. You might be very muscular or strong looking. But you're very clever, very smart, and you might have a good business sense with the Fish. But it can talk about somebody that's very can be kind of hard to pin down with the Fish card. Imagine holding a fish in your hand. It's not very easy. So that's how they see you here. So we've got the Virgo card, Moon, and Companion. Companion says loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. The shadow attributes are betrayal by misusing confidences, loss of personal identity. I think that you have both of these qualities. Excuse my throat here. I think that you have both of these qualities. So, misusing confidence. But I'm seeing it might be loss of personal identity here with this card. You may be so focused on service to others that you don't focus on yourself. And as a result, you may become your job. Maybe your job is your identity. Maybe your hobbies are your identity. But I feel like this is like your identity might have to do with other people. So this person may see you from afar as maybe not having a total grasp of who you are. And they may see you as someone who may be a bit of a people pleaser. You're distant and you're a people pleaser because it's easier to manage people when they're not angry, obviously. When everybody's getting along, it can be easy. But you might sacrifice bits of yourself by being so agreeable. I think that's something that you have here. Now, agreeable doesn't mean that you're like a social butterfly, because I don't sense that you're somebody who's a social butterfly at all. We also have the moon here, and the moon's not particularly outgoing. So I really think that this is saying that you're kind of keeping your distance so people don't get to know you. And you like it that way, maybe. This person probably wants to know more about you. But with Luna here as well, we see service to others, but we see care as well. We see somebody who's very caring, very emotional, very nurturing too. These two cards are caretakers, you know? This is nurturing and this is service. This is, together it says taking care to me. And that's kind of how I see it. So if you're like a nurse, or maybe you run a daycare, or maybe you like take care of people on a physical level, nutritional level, something like that. But I'm going to ask the cards here what your role is, because I don't use these cards very much. These are the Life Purpose Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. So what role do you have in this person? Like, what role do you serve to this person? Like, let's see. Artist. Engaging in artistic activities is beneficial to your career and every other area of your life. Okay, so maybe this is saying that you are some kind of creative to them. Maybe you are like, you may have some kind of creative relationship with this person. Maybe you guys make things together. Maybe this person knows you're an artist. Maybe this person finds you very creative. Maybe you are this person's wife or the mother of their children, because artists can also show someone who you know is a maker, and women are makers of people. I don't want to say that like other people can't make things, but with these archetypal feminine types here, that could be what I'm seeing. Let's see here. Any more details? Consolation. Maybe you console this person somehow. Consolation. You make things better. Lover. Well, that's kind of obvious. Maybe you are a lover of this one, or they love you very much. They have great sensitivity for you. Maybe you play music. Maybe some of you play guitar. Any more? Okay, I think I'll stop there, but we've got size and thief. Oh. So I did get this feeling with this one when it says betrayal by misusing confidence. Or I feel like maybe you betrayed them when they gave you something in confidence, maybe. But we have thief and size. So I feel like this person might feel a little bit betrayed by you. Maybe they thought that there was some aspect to you that they understood, but then it kind of turned out to be different. That's a possibility. But this person may also be the one who did that to you, perhaps. Or maybe that they feel like they have to steal the information to get to you. like you can't just, they can't just walk up and talk to you. They have to maybe go through alternate routes or alternate means to try and talk to you, to try to get to know you. And maybe they're not having any success or any results. So at this point, they might just see you from afar, and maybe you're the one sitting there sighing. Maybe you're the one who seems kind of depressed and lonely. And maybe they feel like they can't access you. So let's pull out any cards here. This is going to tell us whether or not, if they could say something to you about the way that they perceive you, what would they say? If they could make a comment on how they perceive you, what would they tell you? Did I just flip these all upside down? Trying to keep them all in one direction. They had a message to give you, tell you based on their observations. Well, I don't think their opinion of you is bad or anything. I just see somebody, when you look at these cards, these are people that are busy. Like maybe they wish that they could tell you to lighten up a little bit because it looks like you're always working. And maybe this person wants to have a nice moment with you where you're just alone with them. That maybe that you're working a lot and you don't need to work so hard. That you're pretty solid and pretty established as it is, and that maybe you could stand to do a little bit less. It'd be okay, I think, with some of these. The Queen of Pentacles can talk about having that proper balance between taking care of others and taking care of yourself. So this person might be, like I assumed over here, this person might assume that you put too much of your effort into other people and that you're having difficulty keeping tabs on your own identity. And I think that if they could tell you anything, they would tell you to take a break and maybe spend time with them. Spend time with them so that you can kind of reconnect with yourself by not being a servant to others. And oh my God, would you look at that? That's on the bottom of this deck, servant. So interesting. Yeah, so this person sees you as a servant to others, and you may overwork yourself. And that's kind of what I'm seeing. So I hope you enjoyed your reading, Group 2. If you like that, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you like a private reading with me, you can contact me on Etsy. You can find my link to that shop in my description box below. And I want to thank you for watching, and I'm going to move on to Group 3. Hi, Group 3. This is your reading. This is for those of you that picked the hematite. This is your reading. So I am going to go into these cards. I'm going to pull some other ones here. I've got tarot and some the other oracle cards that I'm going to go into things with. So let's take a look here. What do we have here? So we've got, I hope you guys can see these okay. I won't know until I process the video. So I hope that you don't mind these shiny Lenormand cards. They're golden thread, but I noticed that with this camera, they're not so photogenic. So I apologize if you can't see these very well. I really don't have that many Lenormand decks. So I do have a wish list in my description box if you're interested in donating some better cards. That is available. So we've got cross, we've got book, we've got moon, we've got anchor, we've got lady, and we've got ring. So it's funny, and I think in most of these readings, there's been a people card, a man or a lady that pops up, and it's kind of neat because it's like indicating the viewer. So not to say that all the men are ladies or who are watching this. It's just I think this may resonate more maybe with my female viewers. Not saying that this won't. We haven't gotten there yet. It may. But this is saying that you may be this person's mother, sister, girlfriend, wife, somebody close to them. And that's how they perceive you. So we've got cross, book, moon, and anchor, and ring. They may see you as somebody that is married. You could be theirs. Or you could be married to someone else. You could be very committed, though. We've got cross and we've got ring. You could be married to God in some places. I doubt that there are any nuns, actually. But because I got this, I doubt that there's any, like, monastics that are watching me. You know, especially if you're, like, married to God. Like, I don't know if you guys would believe in tarot, but you may be conservative, though. This could be indicating someone who's very conservative. You may be like, look, we got book and we've got cross, and together that's like Bible. So I'm getting like a very religious vibe. I don't think that it could be just one. It could be many different types of religions. So you may just be a very devoted spiritual person. You may be someone who's maybe a little bit of a religious leader, like a guide or something to this person, because this is their perception of you. So they might think that you're. They might think that you are very devout in whatever you practice. You are also on the curvaceous side, and this person may see this. And if you are truly this type of person, a nun type of person, you know, maybe that doesn't make them feel so good. Maybe they feel a little guilty. But you may be very curvaceous, though, bottom heavy for women, because the anchor can mean hips are noticeable on you. With the anchor card, though, it can also talk about someone who's very stable, somebody who's into long-term commitments, people that are into things forever, very devoted, very loyal. I think that also we could be looking at somebody who might be okay with a little bit of partying. The anchor can also be like a sign of rest, based on Madame Lenormand's times when ships were anchored near shore. That was a time for them to kind of relax and party and enjoy the land while they're, you know, on their sea quest. But you may be a little bit of a psychic, a little bit of an intuitive, maybe, or a very emotional person of some kind. Maybe you use your emotions in you might be empathic in some ways. But the moon does talk about like a mysterious type of, like a mysterious type of aura around you. Excuse me. I think, though, for a lot of you, this person may think that you're married. So if you're not married and this is like a love interest, maybe you should do something about that. Just saying. Let's see here. So we also have, we have monk and nun. And this says, light attribute, selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. And the shadow attributes are negative judgment of the physical world, excess piety. this could be both. You might be a little bit too devoted or a little too uptight, maybe, for this person sometimes. It may be frustrating for them, maybe, to get past this very conservative, devoted thing. Like, maybe you don't think about much else. Maybe you don't even, like, maybe they don't think that you even notice them because you're so devoted to whatever it is that you're interested in. And that doesn't have to necessarily be spiritual things. You could be very devoted to your job. You could be very devoted to a hobby, a craft, a mindset, a way of life. And that could be what creates a rift between you. Now, we also have Mars and Saturn. And this is what makes me go, because these are very masculine cards, Mars and Saturn. And of course, we got Lady here. So there is some kind of powerful energy to you. And it's almost kind of like there's a type of belief system. I'm not sure if I'm having deja vu or if I had said this before in another reading prior, about Cathars. They're like an old religious sect. I don't know if anybody actually practices that religion anymore. It's a type, and you know, that's so funny because that's a type of Christianity. I'm getting a weird Christianity vibe from this one, which is odd because I'm a tarot channel. You know, you're welcome here for sure. I don't get that many people. Maybe I get more than I know. Who knows? But Cathars are people that withhold like joy or they sacrifice pleasure for some kind of spiritual reason. I don't practice that, but I know that it exists. So maybe this person thinks you withhold from yourself to like keep your eyes on the path, or you know, keep yourself devoted to the mission, and you don't allow pleasurable things or enjoyable things in your life to distract you. That could be one thing. And that's kind of how I see the Saturn here. Mars is a very powerful planet, and it can talk about like a very, together, these can talk about like a very headstrong person, I think. I think that you have the intensity of Mars and the focus of Saturn. And, you know, it can create a very powerful personality. I think that Mars aspects to Saturn can also, I think, depending on what type of aspect, I think it can sometimes make somebody meek in a way. So maybe for some of you, you're very meek. You're very quiet. Spiritual, but quiet. And but I'd say that there's a wisdom to you with Saturn. There's a resistance or a discipline in you. This whole thing kind of just screams of discipline, actually, this whole thing here. I think that you might be very good, though. If I didn't mention this one, you could be very educated, or you self-educate, or you like books. Let's see here. So I'm going to take this one. So, like, what role do you play in this person's life? Like, what is your role to them? Like, this could actually be your job, how they perceive your job, or how you perceive their role, how do they perceive your role to them. I'll take these ones. I'll take this one and this one here. So we have trust and body work. Okay, so trust says, trust your feelings and dreams to guide your career path. But look at that. She's got a scrying orb or a bubble. It looks like a scrying orb to me, though. More likely than not, it's a scrying orb. I don't know why she'd be holding a big giant bubble. And then this one says, bodywork. Your life purpose involves bodywork, massage therapy, energy healing, physical therapy, or exercise training. So maybe you work with this person, maybe they're a trainer, or maybe you're a trainer. So they could see you as maybe like a client to them, maybe. Or you or they could be your client. Energy healing. You could be a Reiki healer or somebody who provides healing for this person. Whether that, and it doesn't have to be physical healing, but I think that's kind of what it's saying mostly here. But I think this could show emotional healing. So I'm going to take some cards here. Tell me more. Any more details that I can get out of this? Constancy. There's more of that devotion here, that consistency, that discipline with this card here. We also have hope. I don't know what this woman has her head in. She's got like some kind of wire frame that she's sticking her head through. I have no idea why this is hope. But that's the hope card. But yeah, I mean, if we're talking about healing aspect, this might be emotional healing. You might be giving this person like an emotional comfort. You might be there when they need help. You might be kind of that source of comfort for this person. Malady. Okay, so sickness here. Again, we have a healing vibe. This person, you may take care of this person if they're sick. You may be a caretaker for them, perhaps. Or they may see you as someone that is sick and that they would like to help, maybe. Let's see here. Oh, wait. I didn't mean to take these again. I'm going to take these. So if they were to make any kind of commentary on what they see, what would it be? I don't want to take that one. Actually, I think I have to shuffle these. I don't think I shuffled them after the last deck. Hang on. Oh, that's weird. Oh, I just felt something tap me on the shoulder. There's no one in here but me. Sometimes things pass through, I think. So I don't know what I'm thinking, actually. I'm sorry. I was really distracted by the thing that just happened to me. Hang on. So what am I going to ask here? Oh, yeah. Okay. What's their opinion of this? If they could make a commentary on what they see here, what would it be? Two of Swords. Nine of Wands. The Chariot. Okay, I see that they're saying I'm seeing that this is definitely, it's like more of like an acknowledgement. So what do they wish that they could turn this into? It's like they say, yes, this is who you are, but do they want to change this? No. Well, let's clarify this. No. I think that this person doesn't want to change you. I think that you might be a little bit tough sometimes and maybe hard to maybe see eye to eye with. But I don't think that this person would be... If you guys argue, actually... Oh, there's a couple things here. If you guys argue... I think this person wishes that you could see from their perspective if you would just kind of like explore what it is that their side of the story. Because I can see you might be very singular and very stubborn with these maybe. But for those of you that don't argue with this person, I think that this could be saying this person wouldn't change you. Because I think that with the Seven of Swords, it's kind of almost like... It's a lie. If you were to be anybody else, it wouldn't be true. It wouldn't be you. it would be inauthentic. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here. So I want to thank you for watching. If you'd like to get a private reading with me, you can find me on Etsy. My link is in the description box below. If you like my content, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It helps it out a great deal. And I want to thank you for watching. I'm going to move on to group 4. All right, group 4. This is for those of you that have picked the Chrysocolla. I had time to look this up and I just didn't. You guys can let me know what this is. Here, can you see it? It's kind of swirly. It's kind of blue, kind of green. I think this is Chris something. It's like a CHRYS. I think. You guys let me know. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that are really good with stones, and I'm just not one of them. So let's see here. Oh, I remember this when I was pulling these. This was interesting. Okay. This is the one that I got a message from. And it's crazy because I don't use this word. I know that it exists and that's about it. But when I was reading this, there's a word that came up to describe you, and yeah, it's not one that I use ever. Let me put these down, and I had it written down because I literally don't use this, but it came up in my head when I pulled these cards. It was pretty obvious. Hang on. What's the word here? I wrote it down. Beleaguered. And I looked it up, and it's someone who's in a difficult situation. This person sees you as someone who is beleaguered. That was like really strong. Interesting. So so I got that message that was coming through very clearly when I pulled these. And I remember this one came back here because this was like, I read this because the whole thing here is a very important person. You are the backbone of your family, or the backbone of some community that you're part of. You're very important, and you put yourself before others. You might be looked up to, but you take on the weight of the world. You are almost a bit of a martyr in a way, but you're not doing it for praise. You're doing it because it needs to be done. When I was pulling this, I was thinking of Fiona from Shameless. I don't know if you guys ever watched that, but I did. And all I could think is like, that was the exact type of person. So it's like taking care of, like in the show, Fiona takes care of like all of her siblings, and her parents are gone. And she's like I think she's 21 when the show starts, and she's taking care of like 6 kids or something. And but they're all very, very poor. And this person, and it's very similar because I see the fox here. So it's like, you'll get things done and you'll do it your way. You don't care how it's done or who you have to take out, or, it's almost kind of ruthless. But the reasoning is because you are caring for others. You will lie, cheat, and steal to take care of whoever it is that you need to take care of. Like, you're very devoted. Maybe you're in a hard spot and you have a lot of responsibilities. This cross came up in the center of this spread when I pulled it. And the other ones, I didn't really keep them in order for the other piles, but this one I needed to put in the middle because when this came down, I got that beleaguered word. And whoever you're thinking of is seeing you struggle. However, they do think that you have great legs. They think you have great legs and great style and fashion and stuff. Like, so somehow you're really trudging through the mud, taking care of everybody. But somehow, you may not show it. And while this isn't necessarily saying that you're taking care of other people, you could be taking care of yourself. But not in like a selfish way. You might be someone who needs to take care of yourself who needs to put yourself first and foremost. And maybe that's something that you hide. Maybe there's some aspect of your life that you hide like that, where you have some kind of trouble in your life and you have to hide it from other people. Now, for these cards, yeah, this also means fashionable, by the way. So you guys may have good fashion. And like, that's why I'm thinking that you're hiding it, because this is like a very active person. This is someone who looks good, looks professional, but you know, it seems like maybe your life outside of behind that facade is almost, it feels like maybe you're completely out of control. Like you're just getting by every day just by the skin of your teeth. And that, I think this person can see through you. Now, you're incredibly resourceful, by the way, because this is a clever person here with Box. Very clever. And we got Pioneer, and it says, passion for doing and creating what has not been done before. And the shadow attribute is a compulsive need to keep moving on. I could see that maybe if you have a tough life, you would have a difficulty attaching to people. You might have detachment issues, maybe. Excuse my water noise. I'm drinking from a straw. I didn't mean to make that noise. But my God, Pluto power here. We have Scorpio and we have Pluto. And so, again, Pluto and Scorpio. Well, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto and Mars. Pluto's the co-ruler. So, but these together show you are in a very dark energy. Survival energy, crisis energy. So this person might see you at this moment in time as someone who's doing damage control, someone who's just trying to make it work. And Pluto is about survival, honestly. It's that primal need for things, and that fuels you to do whatever it is that you need to do, which is why there's that sort of ruthless feeling. But like I said, I don't judge for this ruthlessness, and I don't think they do either, because if you don't look out for yourself, no one else will. And I think that's what this person sees. So, but when they see you, there is this very sexual person too, very intense. You may be very attractive, and you may be using that as a defense mechanism or some kind of manipulative tactic. And this could be their perception of you. It doesn't necessarily have to be true. But if you're very attractive, you may use that as a tool, and, not just like aesthetics, which is not wrong, because you won't be the first person in history to do that, and you won't be the last. You're using every tool in your toolbox, because this is a survivalist here. This is someone who is existing to get by, and make every day some kind of profit or something profitable, whether that is money. I mean, I have a feeling though with this is not somebody who's looking to make as much money as possible. This is somebody who's looking to buy food. So that's why I get this very dire feeling here. So this person may think that you're poor, but you look good. You're poor, but you don't look it. You're very deceiving in what your actual status is. You may be in trouble, but nobody is able to tell. This person may notice, maybe there was something between you guys where this person might have noticed, you don't eat lunch or something. That could be an issue here. Now, now that I say that too, for some of you, you might be very thin. You may have an eating disorder, and this person notices this. And that one just kind of came to me, but I would see that maybe you could probably see these things as sort of like obsession with Pluto and distress with these cards here. and transformative. So Scorpio is usually transformation for the better, but you have to go through a crisis phase in order to get there. So I'm thinking that maybe this is, maybe for some of you, that might be something here. So let's see here. I'm going to pull this one here. So for these cards are just going to say like what your role is to this person. Now this could be your job. This could just be what your role is to them. Music. You might be a musician. You might connect through music. You may share your music with this person. Or you may bond through music. Travel. Your life purpose involves traveling. Your connection to music is healing for yourself and others. You may send this person music from a distance, maybe. If you don't, you may, this whole thing actually may be, maybe a digital thing. Like this whole thing could be like a distance relationship. Which actually, now that I think about it, if you guys are just real thin, because I keep forgetting, like, this isn't you. If you're like, no, I don't have an eating disorder, I'm just very thin. This is what this person thinks. So that might be it, actually. That might be it. So you guys may, because I keep forgetting, this is not truly who you are. For some of you it is. But for a lot of you, this person might be jumping to conclusions on that based on pictures, which would explain why they think you look very good on the outside, but they think there's a lot going on behind the scenes. That sounds like an internet relationship if I've ever heard it. So there's a possibility there. And with travel and music, and I'm mostly seeing, like, maybe you meet them when you travel. So maybe you come and go, you're not always there. So you might be somebody who's far away. But music shows that maybe you guys connect through music. You share music. You talk about music. You may sing. They may sing. You may play something. They may play something. Something like that. But yeah, you may be someone who's like kind of always in a survival mode. Let's get some more details here. Friend. Aw, this person sees you as a friend. I love getting this card for this one. I've gotten this twice so far, and I love seeing this picture because, like, I don't know. I think the girl's so charming with her, like, summer hat and her flowers. Falseness. I'm sorry. I don't know why this card has this fluffy cat here, and then for some reason it's called falseness. Like, it's like this cat is lying to you. I don't understand this card. This deck doesn't come with a book, so I kind of have to read it intuitively, but falseness. I don't think this has to do with you being like false. I mean, maybe there's a little bit of falseness here. Like, they think that maybe there's something greater that's wrong. I think cats. Oh, excuse me. I think cats might be prominent here, though. I think this cat might be showing that maybe you guys have like a relationship around cats, or you think cats are you know, you both like cats or something. Any other little notes? Child. You might be younger. They may be younger. They may think that you have kids. Yeah. They may think that you have a baby or you're pregnant. And I think that's kind of what I'm seeing. So I see here, let's see. So this, or if they had anything to say to you about this, what would they say? Like, if they could make any commentary, what would they say? Sun. Oh, that's too much. We've got Sun, and we've got Two of Swords. We've got the Five of Pentacles. And we've got Strength. I think that this person would do a lot for you if you asked for help. We've got Sun. We've got Two. We've got this Five of Pentacles, which can talk about financial help from friends, financial aid from others, charity at times. Judgment too. We've got Strength and Judgment. I think this person would do a lot for you. They'd bend over backwards for you, maybe. They would, but you won't let them, perhaps. I think that I also think they want to ask if you're having kids, or if you're getting pregnant, or if you are pregnant too, I guess. They would probably want to ask about that. It looks like, I think this person may have money saved for you if you're a family member and you guys haven't spoken for a long time. This person may have money saved for you that they would like to give you. This kind of like shows here with Judgment. It's like you're going to get this at some point, whenever that is. Like you may be getting this at some point, this money. And they want you to hang in there. I think that this person does want to help you quite a bit. They think that you're worth it, and they think that you kind of deserve a break, to be honest. So, and Strength is here. I think they want you to stay strong as well. Yeah. So that's what I'm getting, group 4. I was like, what number is this? 4? I want to thank you for watching, and if you like my content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to get a reading with me, you can find me on Etsy. My link is in the description box below, and I want to thank you all for watching. Bye now.